Hello, everyone, and welcome to Techeries. I am at the very bottom of our script, so I can't actually read everything. There we go. But hello to everybody on Twitch and on YouTube. Thank you all for coming in and hanging out. We're Techeries, and it's the last few days of Women's History Month, so we do have a
It is.
couple more games to show you later in the show. But I am Morgan, and this is my lovely co-host. I almost said K-host. It's still kind of right though, but this is my lovely co-host KP.
Morgan is a little flustered today. Let's just go with it. I need you to take
It's
a
been a
deep
weird.
breath.
It's been a weird morning,
Just
y'all. Been a weird
just take
morning.
just do me a favor. Take a deep breath.
I'm doing fine. Just do your stuff.
Just do your stuff. Hi Ramp, how you doing? I hope you're enjoying us on
Hello,
your mobile
hello.
device over there. Anyway, guys, yes, I am KP and also the city builder. Breathe in. See, Ramp's right there with me. Okay, breathe in, breathe out. Remember, I almost died this morning, so it's fine.
Because you were breathing
And the
too good.
city builder. That's right. I was breathing in liquid. It was great. And the City Builder and Colony Simfest is underway on Steam right now, but we're going to show you guys coming up a little later some of the games that stood out to us. And we hope you guys are excited for that as well. But first, let's dive into your tuck polls. We're actually starting with a really sad story, unfortunately.
Yeah. All right, everybody. So, sad news swept over the Samsung company on Tuesday, March 25th. The Samsung Electronics co-CEO Han, Hong Jong-hee died from cardiac arrest, according to the spokesperson for the South Korean tech company. Before, in 1962, Han Kwang-hee, I have a typo, died at the age of 63 after having overseen Samsung's consumer electronics and mobile devices businesses since 2022. So he's been there a long time, y'all. Also, back in 2022, Han was named the Samsung Electronics Vice Chairman and CEO. Han's co-CEO, Jun Young Hyun, was appointed his position last week. He just got his co-CEO. So the Samsung Electronics spokesperson told CNN that the co-CEO, Jun Young Hyun, would be the company's CEO after Han's death. So Samsung did pay tribute to Han in an internal message that mentioned he dedicated more than 37 years of his life to leading Samsung's TV business, becoming a global leader. So he also helped the the company grow during a challenging business environment as the head of Samsung's electronics and appliance businesses. Lastly, the message also sent their deepest condolences to his family and loved ones during this difficult time. That is the sad news.
And we're just going to take a moment of silence.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's very sad, but we're gonna see where Samsung goes from there. It's just unfortunate they lost him at a very early age. Like he wasn't very old. Um, so we'll see what happens with Samsung from there. Our condolences go out to the family, and all of his loved ones, and that's all we have to say on that one.
Yeah. Good luck to June June Young Hyun as well, stepping into big shoes.
Oh yeah.
Well, with that being said, guys, we have some Silent Hill news for you. Gonna transition to things that are a little more interesting and hopefully a little less somber. Um, but Silent Hill F has been making the news lately. Firstly, in Silent Hill F, Hanko's hometown is engulfed in fog, driving her to fight grotesque monsters and solve eerie puzzles. You will discover the disturbing beauty hidden in terror. Now, due to Australia's classification board, Silent Hill F may not release in their country. This is because the horror reboot has been refused classification. But what does that mean? Well, basically, this means the content is too extreme for an 18 plus rating and thus banned. At the time of the story initially coming out, the organization had not explained anything further behind its decision, but on Tuesday, March 25th, we got an update. The ban of Silent Hill F in Australia has been lifted. The initial ban was presumably an automated result, but here is what a spokesperson for the Classification Board of Australia said in a statement provided to PC Gamer. Silent Hill F is not currently classified as refused classification in Australia. The March 14th, 2025 entry on the National Classification Database has been removed. A classification division will be published to the National Classification Database ahead of the game's release. Now, those in Australia will seemingly be able to enjoy the release of Silent Hill F on release, but we're not sure when that will be, as the Silent Hill F release date is still yet to be announced.
This game, though, they have taken Silent Hill to the next level.
I'm excited for this.
Like, you know how we keep saying this is a contender and this is a contender? This might be a contender based on
It's a
just
good
from
year for video
seeing.
games.
It really is. I'm like, damn, I'm so happy this is a great year for video games. Let's
My
go.
wallet is not, but you know.
No, no, my wallet is not happy, but I'm excited for all these developers. They've been making and coming out with some really great stuff. And I sent this to you, this trailer before to you, before even this whole story became a thing.
Yes.
And this is one that we actually want to dive deeper into and look further into like the storyline and like the gameplay and everything else. Because it's just so, to me, it looks just so different
Mhm.
than what we've seen on the other Silent Hills before. And
Absolutely. And
it's
especially like
very
and I
intriguing.
think part of that is because like just like Tyler just said here in the Twitch chat, like Silent Hill in Japan. Like yeah, we're finally getting Silent Hill in Japan and there is so much amazing like lore and like mythological stuff you can tie into from Japan, I think into like the grotesque monsters of Silent Hill. Like dive into the yokai side of things with Japan. That'd be sick. So I'm really excited to see what they're gonna do with this story.
But it also makes sense too. Like
100%.
the whole outbreak happening in just one area. No. We
Yep.
all went through COVID. Like, come on. We all know that it broke out everywhere. So like this would make sense, right?
Yes.
So what's the next area that we could see? Like we have Japan in this one. Maybe they'll do like Siberia or like, like there's so many more
Watch out,
places they could go.
Australia. They're coming for you next.
It's been banned, but that's all right. No, it's not been banned anymore. But
It was for a little bit.
but it's just like, like it's cool to see that they're expanding it not just to the one location that they used, which I don't remember. Was it the US? Is that where they were focused on? I never played any of them, but I do know like a little bit about them and how like different they are compared to how this one looks.
I believe they're in the US. I'll be honest, I
Okay.
didn't ever get to play a lot of the Silent Hill franchise, so I'm not like
Hmm.
very much like in the know of a lot of Silent Hill
Right.
info. I know more like a little bit from like the movies as well as the memes. You know what I mean?
Right.
You
Dan
know?
says wouldn't even need to make it supernatural to be scary if they did the Australian outback. That is so true.
Maybe it's just like
Everything in the middle of the island, forget it.
supernatural twisted outback creatures from Australia, you know?
Yeah, I never really got into the series either, Ramp. I'm totally there with you, and like Morgan said, neither is she. But the fact that they're taking
It's
it
always it's always
out of
looked
one,
really good.
okay, yeah. Okay, so Dan says that he thinks Silent Hill was in like Pennsylvania or New Jersey. But the fact that they're taking it out of the U.S. is a big deal. Like we need to
Mm.
look at it that way. If they can put it in
Oh,
Japan,
so
imagine.
the I just looked it up. The video game series is actually takes place in a decaying American town of Silent Hill, which is located in Maine, but the movie
Ah,
adaptation was set in West Virginia, which makes sense, like in general, because we have like the
gotcha.
mountain range there, and those are the Smoky Mountains. So I think that's why they chose that location.
Yeah. No, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Okay, so we now have figured it out. You know, it is in the US, right? But the fact
Yes.
that they're moving it from the US to Japan shows me that they are now making more reach. Like we have more locations that we can do now. Because if
Hmm.
this does really well, where will the next one be? Like this is a good spot for them. And I'm super excited for them. And they have done an incredible job with the trailer. And I can't wait to see what like gameplay looks like. What
Visually, it looks so stunning.
Oh yeah, it looks amazing. And we're gonna even play all of it. She didn't even play all the trailer. I was watching. I'm like, she didn't even play all the trailer.
Forget that was my story. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, so I'm super excited for this. But another thing I'm really excited about, you can see chat's really excited about the Silent Hill stuff too, which is really great. Okay, so you guys know on Thursday that Nintendo held their Nintendo Direct showing off upcoming games, which we're actually going to take a look at some of those later in the show. So just keep
I'm
that in mind.
so excited for what you're about to talk about.
This is like game changer, guys. I'm
I
talking
literally was with my
huge
buddy.
game
I was with
changer.
my buddy Michael the other night, and we were talking about how exciting this is.
But this is massive, okay? So, but one thing that they showcased really caught my eye, and that's the virtual card update. So, these game cards will allow players to link two of their Switch consoles together and transfer games between them. It will also allow you to share or lend out your games to other members of your family group. So, but you don't have to worry because your games won't be gone for good. You know, those who borrow the game will have up to 2 weeks to play it. Only a single game can be shared with one member at a time, and this feature will be added to the Nintendo Switch next month, which is massive. I'm super excited for this. Um, just I like the idea of 2 weeks. I mean, give somebody 2 weeks to play a game. If they really want to play it, they're gonna play it, right?
Hmm.
So I think that is so great. And the fact of like now I don't have to like my brother and I are on a family group, right? So now I don't have to be like, hey, I really want to borrow this, but I have to ship it back to you, right? Because we don't live in the same state together. Like we live in opposite states of each other, right? So like this just makes it easier.
Absolutely, and like I even think my husband will get good use out of this because like he has a Switch. He doesn't play it as much. It's one of those things where like he's definitely on the PC more than he is on his Switch, right? But we have like our good friends. All of our friends have Switches, and they can start sharing
Mhm.
content with one another, and helps minimize the costs right now because costs are just rising. And then on top of
Right.
that, it's just it's nice. It's a really nice feature. It's really exciting, and this is not only exciting for like for friends, but like especially for family, like having young kids, and whereas Switch is
Mhm.
a very common device for the younger kids that parents will get now. I think this is
Yeah.
gonna help negate some of those costs even for families.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So you don't have to buy like 5 copies of one game for like 3 kids, you
Absolutely.
know?
Or you don't have to wait for the one kid to finish the game before you okay, now you can have the cartridge. It's your turn.
Right, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So this just will help so much. Totally agree. All right. This next story is really impressive considering it is a solo developer who continues to add to this game. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I know Morgan
I
does because
do.
she can see the script.
I can see
But
it.
does chat know? That's what I'm really curious.
They might, the lower thirds up.
They might if they read the lower third. All right, I'm talking about Sketchy's contract for anybody who is a huge Sketchy contract. I actually got Morgan to play the game. I'm super excited. She loved it.
I really
Um,
like it.
Shirtless, yeah, Shirtless Dan and I have played a lot of it together. We've gotten Grimnir to play it with us. So the developer has released information about the 0.2.0.0 update. In this update, there will be a new apartment housing where the small apartment will have a storage room for you to leave loot in so you don't have to keep traveling around with a grocery cluttered ship. There will also be 50 new furniture cosmetics, and some are even hidden on planets. So, Morgan, we're going to need you to be up and at 'em finding those for us because we didn't do any plushie hunting. And then you're like,
I found
look what
us
I
one.
found. I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, we need you to be up and at 'em and find us find us the furniture.
I got you. Let's go. Let's do this.
All right. There will be 3 different crates with various storage limits that you can buy. And we have 16 new weapons or items that will unlock as you progress to higher contract tiers. There is the Big Bang, which is a shotgun with high AoE at close range and low AoE at long range, and a flamethrower that deals fire damage and more damage the hotter it gets. So at 99% heat, the damage is doubled, but the player takes 2 damage per second until the trigger is released. And it lights everything it touches on fire, dealing 10 damage per 0.5 seconds to non-player targets and 10 damage per second to players. There is
Hmm.
a lot more in the update that I can't get to. So I'll add the link in our Discord so that you guys can look at everything that will be added. This will be really fun to see how the game changes with this new update. It will drop on April 9th for Sketchy's 1 year anniversary. I am so proud of this developer.
It's a
He
single dev.
literally,
Like he's doing
yeah,
amazing.
yeah, he literally goes and streams what he's working on in this game. Like
Hmm.
it's incredible. And I feel like this game, like it's smooth. It doesn't have any weird like there's some weird glitches, but that's like normal, but it's not like it's not playable, you know?
Right.
And
The glitches are more funny than anything.
yeah, exactly. Morgan, your cat is stuck inside your body. Oh no, that's
Oh,
normal.
oh. He's just attached to me now. It's fine.
But I love how the gameplay is. I love how, even though we've only been to 2 planets and we haven't really done more than that because I feel like we just get like our little comfy zones. I want to know if those tiers like we'll be able to do like more as we
Sure.
keep going. And then he's added new suits. There's going to be he's added new suits from just developing the game, right? But in this new update, he's going to have new player titles. He's getting rid of the well, he's going to still have it, but the concept behind like extra health, right? So
Right.
extra life to you, it's still going to be there, but as you level up, you're going to gain passively extra life. So it's just an added bonus if you want to use it. I think that he has really come a long way from where this game has started. And I know because like Shirtless and I have played this game from the beginning. And so we have seen the trials and tribulations of the game
Sure.
and how it has started to where it has evolved. And if you guys haven't seen when we have all played it, the lovely little like arachnophobia mode that he has is super adorable and funny. So it just adds like a comic twist to the game.
It's a good one. It's a good one. That's for sure.
It's a good one. And you can play with up to 8 people. So always a good one.
Absolutely. It's nice seeing larger lobbies happening again. Like for example,
Hmm.
even like Repo, we can play up to 6. Because I can't remember who it was. Somebody asked me out of my friends, like, it's only
And
four
that's not
players,
modded.
right? Yeah, that's
That's
not
just a
modded.
normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
And it
you
was
mod it, like Nom modded his, Non Zombie not modded his, and he had up to 15.
damn. It's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you mod it, there's like endless accounts of how many people you can
There's
have on the
one
game.
mod, because I was watching a YouTube video the other night about like ways to kill the different creatures in Repo. And
Hmm.
there's a mod that the YouTuber had created that was using in his video that showed the health bar of the enemies, and I was like, I want
That's
that so
cool.
bad.
Yeah, that's actually kind of helpful.
Yeah, absolutely.
That sounds like more chaos than normal. Yeah.
15 people would be wild. I'm
But
curious
what
to
I love
see how
about
the game scales for that many people.
Right. But what I love about Repo is especially the developers, they keep coming out with more and more content, right? Like more videos to talk about more things that are happening and all this other stuff, right? But what I love is that they don't want to get rid of the modded parts to the game. They want gamers to still mod their game,
They want
which I
gamers to
think
have
is
fun with
so
it. Like, I think it's
yeah, I
because
love
too, like,
that though.
repo is fun, and though you can have, like, every time you go in could be different, at the same time, the maps are pretty much the same, like, it will eventually get repetitive in a way that's
Mhm.
similar to, like, Among Us. Every situation will still be different, but it's still the same
Yeah.
thing, and I think being able to like this developer allowing the modifications to happen will just create more longevity for their game.
Right. Right. And I feel like that's what Sketchy's contract's trying to do. Like he's
Yeah.
trying not to make it stale. He's trying to give you more reason to play the game. And there are places we can go. We just haven't we just like our little comfy zones.
That is fair. That is fair. Well, ready for the
What?
next story?
Yeah.
All right.
It's not a bad story. You just made it
No,
sound like it was you're like, well.
no, not at all. I just wondering if you're ready. I was just asking,
All right.
making sure I didn't want to interrupt any other thoughts you may have.
No, I'm ready. Go for it.
All right. Since she's ready, y'all. The, the latest of the Indiana Jones games released on PC and on Xbox back on December 8th, 2024. But when will it come to PlayStation 5? Or will it ever? Well, after plenty of rumors and a lot of speculation, Microsoft has finally announced the PlayStation 5 launch of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. So, the game will launch to PlayStation 5 on April 17th, which means pre-orders for the PlayStation edition of the game will start soon. Just like the initial launch of the game back in December, the PlayStation 5 launch of Indiana Jones Great Circle will have its own pre-order bonuses and premium edition content for the indie fans. Pre-ordering the game will get you the Last Crusade pack that features Indy's traveling suit outfit and Lion Tamer whip cosmetics. The premium edition for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle will get you 2 days of early access, the Order of the Giant story DLC, a digital art book, the Temple of Doom outfit, and a special cover. This premium edition actually includes a physical disc of the game, which is something we don't see too often anymore. But yeah, anybody who's been wanting to play this game over on PS5, you'll be able to from April 17th.
It's a really cool game. I like what they did. The adaptation of from the movies to the video game has been
Yeah.
really smooth. It is like watching the movie, which is awesome. And I like the fact of they took the voice lines from the movie. Like they didn't modify them or anything. They
Mhm.
kept it very one for one. And that I don't mind so much. Like the
Yep.
fact that they went because it's such a classic movie, right? And it's
Yes.
something that a lot of us either we grew up on or our parents, for those who are a lot younger than Morgan and I, our parents maybe grew up on it and uh they showed their kids kind of thing. So I'm happy. I'm happy that we're finally seeing a nice share between, PlayStation and Xbox. Like it's not just like this is my game, I'm going to hoard it. Like it's nice
Mhm.
that we're starting to get out of that. We were very much in that for a while and I
Yeah,
hated
it
that. It
seems
was
like
really
that
annoying.
the exclusivity is slowly fading. So there is some
Yeah, like
obvious exclusive titles. We're now starting to at least
Mhm.
be able to get them on PC, so they're still broadening their player base for their games. But for this
and I
game
don't mind
specific,
so
go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say I just don't mind so much when it's like at the beginning. It's like, okay, this is my game, my franchise. Like I'm not going
Right.
to share it with you right yet, but I will down the road. Like I
Yeah,
don't
at a
mind that
later
as
date. Like, give me my
yeah.
launch time. And it's kind of like
Yeah.
if you think about like movies nowadays when they're in the like Disney Plus has their like Moana 2 came out. It'll be available later on our streaming platform, but we want to give it its life in the theater first. It's kind of the same thing for Xbox or
Yeah.
PlayStation. Give me my life first on my platforms and then we can release it to you.
Right. Right. And I don't like I said, I don't mind that. I love that. I love that's a
Mhm.
good compromise. Like get
Absolutely.
your run through it and then now let's bring other people in and they can make money off of it.
Yep.
And I'm sure the compromise is like I take X amount of your stake, right? From any sales or, views, whatever it is, right?
Absolutely.
And that's okay because that is fair. That's a fair compromise and a fair deal,
Mhm.
overall. So
Yep.
everybody wins. That's what I'm here for. Everybody winning.
I thought that too, Dan, because I'm so hungry right now. I was like, steak sounds good right now.
Steak.
But yeah, just as Ramp also said, anybody who is interested in this game, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. The game is available on Game Pass, so if you're on PC or Xbox, you can get it for free through your Game Pass subscription. So that is an option
And
if
I
you
love
don't
my
want to
Game
wait.
Pass.
I love Game Pass. We use it so much. I can't
We
just
do.
say I. We use it a lot.
Yeah. And
All right.
there's gonna be more games coming out as day ones and that we are super excited
They
about, which we will
are
be sharing with you guys
really. I love how much they're
down the
diving
line.
into day one
Yeah.
releases. I love that so much. No more wait.
Yeah.
I
And so
use
we'll
and
be
abuse it
sharing
for
those
$12 a month.
throughout the year with you
Yes.
guys as we get them. Um, but you guys, the future of drive-throughs will soon be upon us. That's because Yum Brands Incorporated, who is the owner, just so you guys don't know, if you don't know, the owners of companies like Taco Bell, KFC, Pizza Hut, and Habit Burger, which I know you guys don't have one up there in lovely Michigan because I used to live there. And there's not one down here either, but apparently they own them. I don't know where they are. Um, but Habit Burger and Grill is teaming up with NVIDIA to accelerate the development of innovative AI technologies for its restaurants around the globe. The AI technology will be used in drive-throughs to help elevate the order experience for consumers. So this will help up easing task loads for team members, improving accuracy, providing a consistent, friendly experience, and reducing wait times. The pilot program is already underway at select Taco Bells. I have not seen it yet.
I haven't either.
Um, and there's also at select Pizza Huts. I don't go to Pizza Hut,
Nope,
so
me
I
either.
okay. In the United States. And then once this is successful, it will be rolled out to 500 restaurants across Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, KFC, and Habit Burger. And that rollout is planned for the second quarter of this year. So, has anybody run into this yet? I haven't.
I haven't.
I don't know if anybody else has, like, in where they're at. I think that's cool though. Like, I get it. AI is taking over things, but when you're in line, like let's look at Chick-fil-A, right? I know you guys have a you don't have a Chick-fil-A. Do you have Chick-fil-A up there now or no?
Oh yeah, yeah. We've had Chick-fil-A
Oh,
for a
okay,
long
okay.
time.
I couldn't remember if Chick-fil-A got itself up there or not. But let's look at Chick-fil-A, right? If you go to Chick-fil-A on a Saturday, how long is the line?
I don't know because I never go, but I know it's dumb. It's
Yeah,
stupid
it's
long.
dumb. And why is it dumb? Because you're waiting for them to get all the orders through like this, right? You know? And so I think this is great for those kind of situations, because it's like maybe it'll help with maybe you can put
I
more staff in the kitchen.
I
Maybe you put more
do
staff in the kitchen.
I do worry about this though, in the fact of I'm someone like let's say for example, when I go to McDonald's, I love the McChicken. I'm a McChicken girly, but I love adding diced onions to my McChicken because it fucking slaps. I'm worried about how well the AI will be able to capture like order like customizations to your order. Like there's a lot of people who you can go to restaurants or fast food that have um like fries and other items and you can do no salt because they can't have salt, they can't have the sodium. So I just hope that I'm curious to see how the AI is able to pick up on those customizations. That's my only immediate like potential like question or concern to see how well it does with that. But
Well,
it's
I
not
look at it this
necessarily
way.
a
Not
concern, but I'm just curious how well it will do with those.
But I look at it this way, they're not working with like ChatGTP. They're working with NVIDIA.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. For sure.
So like I'm going, this is way better than just them going, oh, I'm gonna work with like OpenAI.
Sure.
Like
100%.
this is a company that's actually trying to create AI to be actually smart and not just like pull shit from, searches and stuff like
Right.
that.
Right.
So there's a difference, and that's why I'm like, this is great because I feel like it actually would do. We saw last week, remember? Last week
Mhm.
we talked about the little robot Blue and how he was very interactive. Like the CEO
Yes.
was like, I need you to go stand, and he was like, okay, and then like, he didn't talk, but you felt his expressions and everything from just his movements, right? So I think that this is going to be a game changer for a lot of these companies because a lot of times what's the biggest issue? A lot of people will get like, robberies happen. Like Yeah, they'll go inside too, but sometimes they happen at the drive-throughs.
Yeah.
You get super rude people at the drive-throughs. You get the drunkest person at the
I
drive-through,
want a
you
sassy
know.
bot who just like, "You're a bitch. Go away. Get out of my life."
And maybe that's the thing. Maybe that's like, okay, you're the after hours, bot who deals with all the idiots that come in and it's just sass,
Mood
and
switch.
then
"What do you
yeah,
want?"
yeah. And then in the morning,
Oh
it's
my god.
like, okay, you're the one who has to deal with all the people that are just bitchy and tired because they haven't had their coffee and mood switch, like trying to be like happy and stuff. I also think too, like the biggest issue with a lot of those fast food restaurants isn't so much trying to get the orders through, like the orders into the system, it's getting the orders out. And if you can
100%.
stick more people in the kitchen and get the orders out quicker, that's very helpful. You can't really, I mean, they could robot it, but doing AI to it, the kitchen staff would be very difficult, I feel like.
We're not there yet in innovations.
No, we're not
Plus
Fallout yet. We're
plus,
not doing
I mean,
Fallout yet.
on the other side of that there will be the society is not there yet either because there will
No.
be that's taking away jobs from us. So, that's a long time away in my opinion.
But we're not mentally prepared for that. We're not
Mm-mm.
physically prepared for that. Like there's so many different things we're not ready for.
There's so many changes
This
that also need to happen in
fine.
like in the actual build of these buildings to have
Oh
like
yeah.
robots running a kitchen. So,
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Because what are they like? What do you do if they malfunction?
yep,
Well,
exactly.
McDonald's is on fire today. I really wanted that flame broiled burger.
Yay.
I gave it to me charred.
That's really funny.
All right. Well,
Uh,
you have another product
yeah,
story.
another
Um,
AI product thing. Yeah. Well,
yeah, which I'm sure that will set some things off.
well, warning everybody. I'm about to speak a name that might create some chaos in your home, and that's Alexa. So, we have
Dan's
some
back there going, Alexa, stop.
yeah, exactly. That's why I gave the warning. Um, no, some we have some news that actually regards Amazon Alexa devices. So, firstly, as Amazon readies the massive AI upgrade to Alexa, which is named Alexa Plus, the company has revealed a pretty upsetting change in its privacy policies. Many people joke about how Alexa is always listening, but beginning or has begun on March 28th, so yesterday for us, or sorry, 2 days ago for us, users of the Echo smart speakers and Echo show displays won't be able to block their devices from sending all voice recordings to Amazon for analysis. So keeping your voice recordings local is a really important privacy feature for any voice assistant, and the removal of it raises some serious questions about what Amazon is listening to. The setting option "Do not send voice recordings" will be removed on, or has been removed now on March 28th, which means all recorded voice commands will be automatically sent to Amazon for processing and analysis. The company is also the like changing how the "do not save voice recordings" options work, limiting Alexa features if you don't want recordings saved locally. So, I doubt this brings much comfort, but Amazon has reported that the voice recordings will be deleted after processing is complete. Amazon has stated that it encrypts voice data in transit to the Amazon's cloud. Once there, it is most likely decrypted before analysts. We at least hope, but I will say we do know that there has been breaches in Amazon's cloud before. But according to Amazon, even if you don't use or pay for their Conversations AI upgrade, Alexa Plus, no, if according to Amazon, even if you don't use or pay for their Conversation AI upgrade, which is called Alexa Plus, no Echo owner will have a choice. Like, for example, I don't pay for Alexa Plus, and this is still impacting me in my privacy settings. Now, you still have access to the privacy settings, "Do not save voice recordings." However, Amazon has made it clear that turning this setting off means the Voice ID setting will not work, which is Alexa's ability to recognize different voices in a household and give personalized answers based on their profiles and added devices. Non English speakers did not have the same privacy settings as English speakers, so they are not likely to really see any notable changes at this time. With that said, so far, no workarounds for keeping your voice recordings away from Amazon have been found. So yeah, I can already tell that there's been a change from like
Really?
yeah, because I have two devices and I got onto Amazon and I'm getting a lot of suggestions of things that I had already was talking about in like around my house the past couple days, and it, it, it's it's really weird. Like I don't that's in a weird thing. Like I feel like there's always that suggestion. Like they're listening, and I gotten suggestions for things weirdly that I've kind of recently talked about. But now it's very much in my face. No, I'm listening to you, even just from the
Mhm.
last 2 days of this change of privacy being in effect.
What do you use your Alexa for?
Mostly just for music at times, and
Mhm.
like for so my living room Alexa will play occasionally music through it, and we'll have it runs my one lamp in my living
Okay.
room, and then in the bedroom I use it because I go to bed at night with thunder sounds, so I use it for that. I don't
Gotcha.
use it
Okay.
nearly as much for as for a lot of other things like other people do.
I don't have an Alexa. I was just curious. I have the Google Home and
Mm,
everything, but
yeah.
I turn the mic off in the back just because um sometimes I'll be watching TV and I'll be like, it'll say something that sounds like it's saying, "Hey Google," and it's not. And it'll be like, da 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 da. And I'm like, no, 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 we're not doing this. But what's nice is
That
like
happens
I
with
can
Alexa too.
still,
Pretty rarely,
yeah.
but it does happen.
Well, what I do with my music is when I do want to play music through my speaker downstairs and everything with it, I'll just pull it up on my phone for Spotify and then just send it to that.
Yeah. So I
So
can
I
do it
have
that
to,
way
I don't
too.
yell at
Or if I'm using the microphone setting, I do
it.
have it like I can say play this playlist on Morgan Spotify or
Yeah.
whatever. Um it's just nice cuz like I use mine to like turn off the light on and off cuz I like it's one of those things where when I'm in here in my office working all day, especially when it's not as impactful now, but during the days of like when our light is gone way sooner in the day, like it's like getting
Yeah.
really dark around 5 or 6, I'm in my office working until then. And then when I step out
Right.
and it's just pitch black in my house, like it just lowers
Hmm.
my like motivation when I leave to like go and like work on dinner and stuff. So I have a light on that auto turns on. It's also if Dan and I aren't home yet, cats are actually not dark vision creatures. They have low light, but they can't see in the dark. So it's a light that's on for Owen if I'm out of town, or
Hmm.
if you know, I have my just we're not home yet. It turns on for
Yeah.
him. And then on top of that, I don't have it set up yet, but I do have a ring cam that I got from my wedding registry that we need to set up, and that will
Hmm.
be tied into it as well. That way I can like monitor who's coming to and from my door.
Gotcha. Yeah, I went all Google.
Yeah, it was one of those
I,
things before all the really good, like the better Google devices were out. I already had Alexa, and so I
yeah,
just stayed with that.
yeah. I had a Ecobee and then I didn't like it because I felt like it was crap. So I
See, I
got
have an
rid of it. I
Ecobee
got it.
thermostat.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I had one of those.
Mhm.
I didn't like it, so I got rid of it because I thought it was crap. And I moved to a Nest, and I have like I've always liked those. They just work
Yeah,
better in my brain.
my dad had a Nest. Our Ecobee is great. I haven't had any issues with our Ecobee, and I think we're able to tie Ecobee now into the
Yeah,
Alexa. Um,
yeah. There's because it was the one I had Alexa with it, and it would go off, and I'd be like, "Nope, we're not doing
See,
this."
ours doesn't have Alexa built in, but I can tie it into the Alexa app.
Yeah,
So that I could see how like having Alexa built in it could be kind of annoying.
yeah.
So I get that. I
So
get that.
Dan says, I don't know what you mean. I never have Alexa mishear its wake word with something completely unrelated, and that sounds vaguely like echo.
So Echo is actually one of her wake words as well, which you can go into your Alexa settings and like turn that off, but she'll wake up to Alexa or Echo. Also Alexis, because my dad kept calling her Alexis occasionally, and she would answer to it because they have probably that old people feature in there.
I had one thing. What did I do? I did one thing that was really funny, and I didn't mean to do it. I was getting my Google and my Siri mixed up. And so I said, um, I don't know which way I did it, but I did one way or the other. But one of them answered back with, I think you mean somebody else. And I was like, that's hilarious.
That's
It was
so
so
funny.
funny. I was like, wow, I've never seen it do something like that. It was priceless. Um, Alexa, Echo, Amazon computer, give me something like an actual phrase so it's harder to mess up. Yeah. So
Yeah.
unfortunately it is what it is. Um, but like you said, if you don't care about having different profiles, understanding different voices and stuff like that, easily turn it off. Um, I don't like that they're doing this. I think this is kind of pointless. I mean, if they came out and said, we are looking at the data processing behind how Alexa understands speech patterns and everything else and phrases to better equip her with more understanding of how people speak and everything else, like that's totally different. But this just seems like we're just pulling data just to pull data, like.
I feel like, Amazon is such a large company. Just make all of
Mhm.
your people who own, like, have your, like, your off. I feel like they have to have it where going in their offices and people are using it in like like the Amazon offices. Like, just
Yeah.
do all that stuff from your own company and like your own employees. I don't think it's something that needs to be done through the whole populace, though. Sure, will they gather more intel faster? Absolutely. Tyler, my incoherent ass can't be understood on a good day.
I think well, I think the biggest issue with having it go to all of your people is if they are in an office, it makes it really difficult to use that data to, improve product because you're
That's
not going
fair.
to hear typical wording and phrases that you would
No, that's
hear in
fair.
somebody's home. Yeah.
That's fair.
Whereas, like, okay, let's say they give them all to their, like, let's say they're still doing remote. I don't know how much remote they're still doing because I haven't looked at their numbers, but I
Right.
know that they have, pulled some people back, and I know that's becoming a big thing now. Um, but yeah, I just feel like
Or maybe you reach
there's got
out
to be
to
a better
your
way.
maybe you could reach out to like your Amazon Alexa like users and be like, "Would are you willing to opt into this?" Because I feel
Yeah, if
like there
there's an
are some
opt in.
people who are willing to, where
Yeah.
others aren't. Like I could see people who like use this Echo Plus or sorry Alexa Plus.
Mhm.
They might want to opt into it because it's only going to better their service they are paying extra money for. Where I would
Right.
not want to because I don't use it and I never plan on paying for, Alexa Plus.
Right.
So,
Yeah, there's they need to start thinking and being more transparent with people and not just like we're doing this and too damn bad, because that's how you lose your client base. Like I can see people who are not happy with this being like, "Well, then if you're going to do this, I'm getting rid of this. I don't want
yeah,
it in my house."
absolutely.
And there
It's
goes
such
all
a
your product.
controversy of everybody like they're listening all the time. And that is a thing that
Mhm.
makes people really, really uncomfortable. It has been an ongoing thing.
Right.
People talk about the government listening, talking about Google, Siri,
Mhm.
Cortana, Alexa. The list goes on. They're always listening. They're never not listening because they're constantly listening for that wake word. So if they're always listening for that wake word, they're always still getting your data, like
Yeah.
what you're talking about 24/7. And that has been a massive discussion in these AI assistant, devices. So you're just taking they're literally taking the biggest worry and problem of their device with the populace and making it a more important worry.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah, you're right.
what if
All
people are
right.
sitting there talking about porn? They don't want to record it, guys.
Oh no. Oh no.
What is Alexa learning from that? Alexa, the new love bot.
Who brought the Alexa to the sex taping?
Oh my goodness. Anyway, we're gonna move on from that.
Oh
Everybody,
god.
on that note, we will be right back. Sorry, you can tell your smart device to stop yelling at you at this point, but because I won't mention her name again, for at least the rest of the show. But coming up, guys, we do have the Steam City Builder and Colony Simfest that is ending soon. We went and dived through. I once again scrolled every single game because that's who I am. And yeah, when we return, we do have some women-led games to show you to highlight them again for Women's History Month. One of them, the last one that we'll show you, is also part of the City Builder and Colony Simfest as well. So we'll
Double dipping.
absolutely all the double dipping. But for now, guys, we will be back momentarily. Hang in there, and then we'll dive into these games we want to show you. All right, everybody. And with that, Women's History Month is almost over. We have
I
today
know, it's so
left of it.
sad.
I know. But that doesn't mean we're going to stop highlighting women in video
Oh, hell no.
games and women made games. But we are women in gaming, so it's going to be a thing. We're going to always have, you know, things added to that. So but if you ever want to go back and check out all of our videos we've already made about games made by women, you can go to our YouTube. We do have a whole playlist for that. But
Right.
we're going to dive into our women made games. The next one is one that KP made, and it is by a woman led studio. So let's go ahead and just dive into it. Let's show you Katoria Academy. Whee!
You're a wizard, Harry. Well, not quite Harry. It could be Beth, or Regina, or Tim. It doesn't matter your name in this game. This is Katoria Academy, a game from Cubanary Limited. The woman-led studio is comprised of 2 experienced game developers. They formed their studio in 2018 with their first indie game, Fantasy Little Jobs, and now are working on Katoria Academy. In this game, you are a wizard apprentice. You'll train your magical skills by attending classes, befriend other apprentices, personalize your character and your cat, and do cozy activities outside of the academy. Here's what we know about these areas in the game. When attending classes, you can grow and harvest fresh vegetables, catch and collect spell creatures in the spell class, and learn other skills such as how to brew powerful potions, craft charms, and heal creatures. While this game is single player, you'll be able to meet different NPCs in the game to explore the academy and uncover secrets. You wouldn't be a wizard without a bit of character customization. The devs will let you change your appearance and your spirit companion. Form a strong bond with your companion with treats, playing games, and providing loving pats. And while it's fun in the academy, you can also explore your surroundings. You'll discover secrets and enjoy some cozy activities such as bug catching, fishing, foraging, or cooking. Katoria Academy is expansive for the small indie developers based in the United Kingdom, but we will have to wait to cast our favorite spells because the game doesn't have a release date at this time.
All right, everybody, and that was Katoria Academy. That looks so cute. I cannot wait to be able to dive into that.
I know, and I like the fact of you get to modify, like you get to change, customize yourself, right?
Yes.
And I'm curious to see what else they're going to add to it. I have so that video that I have, there's some like old trailer video footage that I used. But you can see like the differences and like what they've changed a little bit and everything.
For
But
sure.
you get a cat. And I know, like, I sent Morgan pictures of all the cat like modifications, and I was like, that's really cool. And I'm wondering if they're gonna add
It's
more companions. I don't like the fact that it's single player. Like that kind of turns me off a little bit because it'd be fun to like play it
oh
with
no, our
friends.
constant gripe.
I know. I mean, I get why they made it single player because it's like, it's supposed to feel very much like like majority of single player games where it's like, okay, like you can go out and you can meet other NPCs and then they become your friends and stuff. And it's not like a super scary game or anything like that where you kind of need it to have friends there to like kind of, like 'cause sometimes like scary games I'm like, man, I really want to have a friend there so like I can share in the horrors,
Sure. For sure.
but like I don't know, I just feel like it would be fun to be able to be like, so I'm going to go off to this class. Okay, well I'm going to go off to this one and learn about this, and then go on an adventure together. And it's so funny, but it kind of reminds me of the D&D campaign I'm doing right now with my brother because we're doing
Oh yeah, because
Strixhaven.
I was gonna say you're in Strixhaven, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so it kind of reminds me of that.
That's cute. I
Like,
could see that. I could totally see that.
so it's like it was a good like correlation in my head.
Makes you familiar.
Yeah. But this next one is going to be really fun. If you guys
I
are
want this
huge
so bad.
into the lore of Cthulhu and maybe want to do a little base building, Morgan's got this amazing video right now.
You're a cult leader. You decide the fate of your followers and even perform eldritch rituals. Can you endure the horrors you will unleash? This is Worshippers of Cthulhu, a game from Crazy Goat Games. They are a woman led Polish indie game studio, and their game is being highlighted in the Steam City Builder and Colony Simfest. In this game, you are a leader of a cult of Cthulhu, mastering the art of city building in a world where the lines blur between sanity and madness. But you're not a harbinger of destruction, rather, the herald of cosmic rebirth. Here's what we know about leading your cult. You will assume the mantle of leadership and decide the fate of each follower, work, conquer, or give their life in a dark eldritch ritual. You'll also address routine affairs like proclaiming dogmas, announcing celebrations, and conversing with servants. This is to achieve the one goal that matters to your cult, awakening your god, Cthulhu. But only a strong cult can accomplish awakening the old one and be tolerated by him. You will need to create and expand cities on multiple islands that will sustain your followers, but also thrive thanks to your connection with your god. To do this, you will need to carefully manage your production chains, workers, and dangerous ruins. But your work doesn't stop there. To engage with the Great One and other entities from Lovecraft's mythology, you will need to perform dark rituals. These rituals grant you knowledge and supernatural blessings that increase your power and expand your city. You will also need to conquer the non-believers. You need their land, manpower, and resources. So take on whatever route suits you best, conquering, pillaging, sacrificing, or converting. Come to understand the supernatural realm and prove to Cthulhu that your cult is strong and worthy of awakening him. Worshippers of Cthulhu is a lore-rich simulation strategy game based on the Lovecraftian 1920 American literature. You can follow the path of a Cthulhu cult leader in this early access game, available on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S. I cannot wait to get this game. I want this game so bad. This is literally, I know on both our wish lists, it's even on, I know on Grimm's. I am a huge fan of of Lovecraftian horror. It's
Mhm.
creepy, it's gross. I love it. It's dark as fuck. Um and uh let's see, Tyler, do you want to summon the old ones because that is how you summon the old ones? Yes. um I
I
am
love this game.
very interested in this
Go ahead.
game.
Yeah. I love this game because I like a good base builder,
Yeah.
and I also like the fact that it's almost kind of like Conan, right? But like I know we're talking about Cthulhu, right? But like I feel
Mhm.
very Conan-esque vibes without having to do the Conan typical thing, right?
Sure.
Or like, it's like, okay, we're gonna make people slaves kind of thing. Like you're gonna do this or we're gonna sacrifice you kind of thing. So it's almost like a mixture of a whole bunch of things, like Soul Mask, where you do sacrifices and stuff. Conan, you do sacrifices, right? Um, I like the concept that they're bringing back more of these like old school like lore type thing. Like if there was an Aztec game, I would totally get that game because I love the Aztecs. Like I
Me
am
too.
all about what they did. I'm all about their lore. I'm all about like how they did like what their deities were. Like to me
Mhm.
that's fascinating. When Asian mythology came out, like that was really fun. And then did Greek mythology. Like I loved that because I loved understanding and learning like all of the different deities and
Yeah, the
everything. And
different things of
God,
the mythos, like every
yeah,
mythos, mythology, that sort of stuff. I love and breed that stuff. Like I was the kid in school who would be checking out and teaching yourself how to read hieroglyphics, rather than getting like a fun storybook. I was literally that child. Um,
that's
so
typical of you. I can see it.
yeah, just saying. Anyway, so this game makes me really interested because you get to dive into the occult surrounding
Mhm.
Lovecraftian horror, and it is it a city builder slash kind of like a colony sim? Yes. However,
But I
it
love that.
it
I do
has
love that because I love building bases,
I do
you
too.
know?
But on the opposite side of that though, it doesn't feel just like you're pigeonholed into that because you have so
Mhm.
many other activities that are important to your end goal of the game. Like um you have like books and lore that you look through. You do have your sacrifices. So it breaks away from that typical just city builder like down view look of like building your city to where you saw him like going up and sadly sacrificing somebody. But,
Right.
it does have this in I like how it breaks up the gameplay because I think with certain city builders, it's strictly only city building, and it kinda
Right.
gets me, like, checked out and bored after a while, where I think this is the type of city builder that would keep me more engaged.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of oh shoot, what was that game called? There was a game and I can't remember the name of it and maybe you do. But it was not Age of Mythology or anything like that, but it was a game where you would have to do certain aspects. Like you would have to have certain amount of wine made and then you would get the Greek god come out, and then you would have to build the statue
Mm,
and all that stuff. Like it wasn't the typical like Age of Empires, in that kind of sense. It was more
right.
like you built your city, but you had to create like Ares. You had to create Cupid, like, well, not Cupid, but the Greek god version of Cupid. But you know what I'm saying? Like in order to have that god show up. And that's what this kind of reminds me of in the way. Like it's very similar, just different deity, right? Different god,
Sure.
right?
For sure. Yeah, I
Um,
can see that.
and so like it's just taking it to a different aspect. But also like if you are really into the base building part of it, maybe that's like your jam, right? It gives
Mhm.
you that nice little piece of it. And then you get little added sprinkles of other stuff that you can do.
For sure.
Whereas like if you're not, it's like cool, I got this other stuff I can do and I'm going to focus that way and then do a sprinkling of buildings here and there. So, it's a good mix. It's a good like,
You know what this game could
like
use, though?
what?
Multiplayer. No, so this game makes a lot of sense to be single player, but I do think it'd be really cool
No, it
if
doesn't.
it had a multiplayer aspect. And the way I would make this work is like whoever's hosting the game is the cult leader, but like your friends are like your cult, like in a way, like co-leaders or like I don't want to say generals because that's not the right word, but like
No, they'd
your
be like the
acolytes
tribal
rather.
leaders.
Yeah,
They'd be like
I
your tribal leaders.
yeah, I think that'd be really really cool to be like, okay, this is like my go-to, not necessarily servant, but you're more of a peer. Like I am the leader of the cult, but here's my acolytes, and then the
Mhm.
rest are our servants. So I think that'd be kind of an interesting dynamic where you could maybe ramp up production and like ramp up like what you need to do to like prove yourself to Cthulhu. So I don't know. I think that'd be kind of cool. Saying
I think that would be interesting, but I worry because with multiplayer and those type of games, especially the ones
it's
that are
difficult.
kind of like more flat, right?
Yeah,
We're talking about you might go, "Oh, I got enough to build this." And then you build something, but maybe before you build it, somebody else builds something else and you're like, "Crap." I mean, communication needs to be
100. You
top,
need a
right?
good team to communicate that has good communication for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, your communication needs to be well above normal.
100%.
And it depends on who you're playing with, but there are other like for instance, I look at Satisfactory, right? Satisfactory is it's like a building game, right? It's a building
Sure.
management game because you are managing materials that you're making so that you can build more stuff and build more factories, right? That's a little bit different because it's even though you're working with somebody else
It's
or
full
multiple
3D.
people, it's 3D for one, yeah. So the platform is different, but also it's to the extent of like if you run out of materials and you say, "Hey, we ran out," you at least have a factory still filling up really
Oh, sure,
fast
sure,
as
sure.
possible. Or you could say, "Hey, you need to fix that," and it becomes more logical. So like you can take roles a little bit different, whereas the base building on a just a basic line like this is a little bit harder to be like, your role is this and your role is that.
For
Like you
sure.
can't really break the roles too much down into pieces. So I think it'd be interesting, but I think it would be a little difficult. But I see
Agreed.
what you're saying.
Agreed. And I think it could be an intriguing mechanic for some developer to mess around with one day.
So what you're saying is one person has to be just the person that sacrifices everyone.
I'm not gonna be the bad guy here. You are.
No, that's what Grimm is for.
Yeah, that will be Grim. I know. That's
Yeah,
I
yeah,
even
see?
thought it in my head
See?
too. Grim can go
See?
burn
Thank you.
everybody.
Jeez.
All right,
So true.
everybody. With that being said, this game, The Worshippers of Cthulhu, was highlighted during the now still ongoing uh city builder and sim colony simfest on Steam. So let's dive into that a
But
little
we
bit,
have
yeah?
more.
Yeah, we have even
But we have
more.
more.
So, with that being
So the
said, KP, can you tell us firstly when does this festival end?
Yeah, so this one actually ends on Monday.
So, okay, ends tomorrow.
So so tomorrow
And
for
that
everybody who's
usually they end their festivals at 10 p.m. Sorry, 10 a.m. Pacific. So that
Mhm,
would be, that'd be 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central.
right. Yeah. So this ends tomorrow. And then it's a while before we see another one.
Oh,
So
surprisingly long while because I feel like we've been constantly getting like
yeah,
constant Steam festivals, and we have like what a good
right.
like month break. I feel like
Next one will be April 21st.
yeah, almost a month, just under. So we have
Yeah.
quite a while until our next one. But with that being said, KP and I went through the Steam City Builder and Colony Simfest. And as I said earlier, yes, I went through every single one. And no, KP did not force me to do it. I'm just crazy. But anyway, let's
That'll be
go
next
ahead.
time. No.
Let's go ahead and
You
kick
will do
off.
this.
Let's kick this off with my picks. We will get into KP's after. Today, I'm going to show you the Medieval Dynasty. So let's go ahead. I'm going to show you Medieval Dynasty, Viking City Builder, Mars Colony Builder, Colony Builder. I feel like I said that weird. Sorry. And Dice Legacy. But we're going to dive into everything. Just all these. We're going to dive into these four games, you know? So coming up first, I'm just making sure I have the page pulled up for y'all. We have. So here is Medieval Dynasty, a game I've talked about before, even here on the show. So, in this game, you hunt, survive, build, and lead in the harsh Middle Ages, creating your own medieval dynasty and ensuring its long lasting prosperity or die trying. You can play alone or team up with friends to enjoy the ultimate medieval experience. Medieval Dynasty is available for purchase on Xbox, PlayStation, Windows, Steam, and Epic Games. A free version is available via the Game Pass. It is also playable on the Steam Deck. I love this game. I've played a lot of this with Rob, and I cannot suggest this game enough. It is that nice. My favorite thing about Medieval Dynasty is you are building a city, you are recruiting people to work for you and to live in your village, and from there you manage resources, you manage their happiness. You then also have quests you get to go do. So there's kind of this nice role playing side to it where it is all first person. You get to enjoy actually be feeling more immersed into it rather than a top down builder. But next, the game I have for you next is Viking City Builder. Let me switch on over to that one for y'all. In this game, you pillage, set fire, and set a new village on the ashes of Europeans. So, Viking City Builder is a classic city builder game with real time strategy elements that allows players to live through the historic expansion of the Viking age. Why did I say egg? Oh my god. Anyway, this game has not been released
Somebody's hungry
yet.
for eggs.
I'm obviously hungry. I'm just thinking food over here.
Yeah.
The game has not been released yet, and a release date is yet to be announced. There is a playtest on the Steam store page that you can request access to. I have requested access. I'm just waiting to hear back and see if I'm lucky enough to join. This one is much
Nice.
more top down than others that I have played. So if you kind of like that idea of running things a little bit more as like a kind of an overseer, this could be a good option for you. I am interested in diving into this one as well. This is on my wish list, and I'm waiting to hear when it will end up releasing. But now, my next game I have for you is the That is not the right one. Apparently, I didn't open the link. Please hold, everybody. How dare I? All right, bringing in the one I wanted to actually show you. This game is Mars Colony Builder. You will discover a whole new world, construct roads, erect buildings, customize the city, and take care of its safety. After all, you are the first Martian settler, and this is a vast, unknown land that you get to develop in any way you please. Mars Colony Builder has not been released yet, but is on my radar for when it does. A release date has not been announced yet, but I am definitely really interested in this one. KP, I also think this is one you would really like. if I'm being
Yeah, this
honest
is
with you.
I have another one that's similar to Mars, like it's a Mars builder, but I think this one's better.
Oh, really?
I'm just looking at it. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like this one's a little bit better. I forget what the other one's called that I have. I'd have to
I
go
know
and
what it is. I saw it too because it
yeah,
was also
you
in
know what
this.
it is, right? Like
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about,
I
right?
know which one you're
Surviving
talking
Mars.
about. Surviving
Surviving
Mars.
Mars.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
That
think
one's really difficult.
this one I think is better than Surviving Mars, just from like what I've
Yeah.
seen of it so far. I'm really, really interested in hopefully diving into this game eventually. Maybe you'll have a demo for us. That would be nice. But that is the Mars Colony Builder. Lastly, the last one I have in my picks to show you guys is Dice Legacy. You got to see it briefly when I screwed up. Also, why is this? Go away. Anyway,
It was funny. I saw this game and I was like, Morgan, look at this guy.
yeah, it's pretty cool. It has a halo ring as well, but this is a dice-based survival city builder set in a mysterious ring world. Your ship has reached the shore of an uncharted continent. So you roll and use your dice to gather resources, expand and defend your settlement, survive the winter, and interact with the strange inhabitants of this eerie world. Dice Legacy is available on the Nintendo Switch, Epic Games, and Steam. It is also playable on the Steam Deck. So yeah, I'm really interested in this one. It's one I might end up purchasing and diving into eventually. But with that being said, let's check out KP Games. What titles did you end up picking for us?
All right, so first off, Dice Legacy has bad reviews, but let me tell you why. Just because I'm like, people are like, oh, it says it's mixed. It's
Yeah,
mixed because people are saying that the game has like this repetitive feel to it. Now, just because a game has repetitive feel to it doesn't make, I personally don't think that makes it a bad game.
sure.
I think that just means that the developer needs to go back and rethink. Maybe is there a way we can like tweak some things to make it or update it to make it a little bit more fresh and stuff like that? Because I was like, why is this such a bad game? You know, and I'm like, because it looks pretty cool and fun, right?
Yeah.
I think that there's just like if the developer goes back in and kind of goes, okay, how can we change it up? Is there anything like new we want to add? I think that's gonna help it. Um, so I personally don't think it deserves the mixed feelings, but that's just me.
Gotcha. Very cool. Good to know. Good to know. But
Yeah.
what do you got
All
for
right.
us? What'd you
So,
pick?
yes. Let's go and look at my picks.
You're a cult
Uh,
leader. You decide the fate of your followers
Not
and even
that one.
perform Eldritch. There we go. Sorry. Here you go. Ah,
All right. So we're gonna look at my picks. I've got Avon Colony, Oxygen Not Included, Aska, and Grow, Song of the Evertree.
Oscar would have been
Now,
on
if you
mine,
guys
but she
have
took it.
which one?
Oscar.
Aska?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I took it because I play it more than you do.
I haven't got to play it because y'all stopped playing it.
All right. Well, there's a big update, so maybe we'll jump back in. All right, let's start with
Yes.
the first one. So
do
let's take a look at Asuka. You know, the game that Morgan kind of got angry about. Uh, not really.
Give me
All right. So in this game, you craft the ultimate settlement solo or together with up to 3 of your friends. Trust in the gods and the power of the Eye of Odin, and summon intelligent NPC villagers to provide camera. Oh my
camaraderie.
God! Can I? Thank you.
Yep.
Uh, and relief from the toils of survival. I'm like, brainwave burr. It did. It just died.
I
So
love that.
no.
I love that for you.
Thanks.
You're
This
like,
game is still in early access, but they have had a major update where they added outposts and lakes to the game, and this game is playable on the Steam Deck. So I have played this with Dan and Grim, and Morgan bought it, and we kind of stopped. Oh, and Latin. So we have played with several different people. It is
I
interesting.
did it.
Basically, if you want a city built, play with Grim. He'll build it for you.
I'll decorate
Uh,
everything and make sure it's stored and organized.
Yes, you could do all the organizing. That's fine. And then Dan and I will just run out and go attack things. Uh, all right, next up is Oxygen Not Included. If you have ever seen my wall, you know I love Oxygen Not Included. This is a space colony simulation game. Deep inside an alien space rock, Your industrious crew will need to master science, overcome strange new life forms, and harness incredible space tech to survive and possibly thrive. The game continues to get new DLCs, and the developers keep releasing quality of life updates. This game is single player, but you know what? I don't mind it being single player. They have a beta for multiplayer, so but it doesn't work just yet. Um, Still some kinks that need to get worked out of it. There are mods for the game. So I love the fact that you are able to mod this game. Sometimes the mods break, but that's like I said, they add new stuff, they add updates, they do quality of life changes, stuff like that. It's gonna break mods. It's gonna happen. Like there's nothing you can do about it until that person who developed the mod updates that mod.
Hmm.
But this is really fun, especially it will definitely get you a little stir crazy because you're like, I don't understand. Why can you not breathe? I'm giving you oxygen. But once you start getting used to it, like you understand the mechanics of the game, it gets a little bit easier. I have still not, though, finished the game, and I am scared to go into space because you can go into space and land on other asteroids, and then build a new base. And I'm like, no, because my anxiety level goes, but what about my old base? I need to be back there. So I go back and forth too much, and I'm like freaking out because I think all the people on the old base are going to die, and I'm not alone in this because Tubby does the same thing. So,
That's awesome.
all right, this next game is Avon Colony. You're going to build a new home for humanity. Discover Avon Prime, an alien planet of deserts, tundras, and wetlands light years from Earth. Build your colonies into massive, sprawling cities while dealing with the challenges faced when settling on a new world. I actually ended up buying this game because I really wanted, because I love like the graphics and I love how
I
it
mean, it's
looks.
2.99,
So
guys.
yeah, it's
Affordable.
also not very expensive. It's also not expensive,
Not
but
even San Juan.
um yeah, I was really excited for this one. I haven't tried it yet. So we'll see what happens when I finally get to. And then lastly is Grow, Song of the Evertree. In this game, you will grow your own worlds and nurture a deep, natural connection with everything they hold. Bring the Evertree back to life in this breathtaking world crafting sandbox with life management and adventure elements. I also ended up buying this game too because I just thought it looked super pretty and I like the concept behind it. And I think it would be like a nice, cozy kind of like sim builder as opposed to a
This is
you
super
have to
cute.
worry about if people are going to lose oxygen.
I think this looks like super like visually adorable, and I'm here for
Hmm.
it.
Yeah, yeah. So, if you want to see though the rest of our picks,
We picked more.
you can you can look at them on our social medias, and let us know in the comments what games are standing out to you guys. Either on our social media or live right now or on YouTube. You can put it in our comments there section too. So,
Let us
a
know.
lot of great stuff.
Yeah,
We had a lot
well,
of fun.
yeah. Yeah, we had a lot of fun looking through all these. I have obviously a good list that go in again. My poor wish list. But with that all
I know
being
my
said,
my poor
everybody,
wish list is where am I sitting at now? Oh, 214.
I'm not that bad yet. Oof.
I'm pretty bad. I'm pretty bad because like I'm looking at a game and I'm like, oh, I like this one, and then I add it to my wish list, or I see if there's a demo and I add that to my
Mm,
account.
yeah. Well, for now, everybody, we are going to take another quick, short little break. And when we return, we're going to be diving into the games that stood out to us from the Nintendo Direct that just recently happened. So we do have some of those to talk about. And then we'll be showing you the upcoming games that you can purchase and add to your gaming library next week. So hang in there. We will be back momentarily, everybody. All right, everybody. As KP mentioned earlier in the show, Nintendo held their Nintendo Direct showcase on Thursday. So we're going to show you some of the games that stood out to us. And first up, let me get this video playing for you so I can show you. This is the brand new game trailer that really caught my attention during the Nintendo Direct. It was also one of the longest segments of the last Nintendo. This was also one of the longest segments of this latest Nintendo Direct. This is Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, an upcoming action adventure game developed by Retro Studios and published by Nintendo for the Nintendo Switch. Players control Samus Aran, who makes use of psychic powers this time around, which is a little different than normal. But they make use of psychic powers on the planet Vuros. This game is set to release sometime later this year, only on Nintendo Switch. There are no mentions of having a Switch 2 version as of yet, but I'm gonna be honest, with it being Metroid, I wouldn't be surprised if they end up having a Switch 2 version as well. Because that's one of their
This game's really
flagship
cool.
franchises. It's really interesting. The psychic abilities is very different for Samus.
Mhm.
But it makes,
I
I think,
yeah.
watching kind of like watching more of the trailer, it makes a little bit more sense as there's like entities that are basically brought her here for their help or something, it sounds like. This is
Yeah.
really intriguing. This is also a really long trailer. Let me hover over it. Yeah, this is a 3-minute and 12-second trailer, which is pretty long for most trailers.
Hey, not as long as that 10-minute we showed.
That is fair, but on average, they're usually only a minute to 2 minutes.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this one I find really interesting.
I'm curious. I never got into Metroid, and so like this actually would make me want to get into it, you know?
Okay,
And
interesting.
I think it's because, well, and I'm sure that, okay, correct me if I'm wrong, because I've never played any of the Metroid games.
Mhm.
Are they all first person or are they third?
Only the Prime series. So
Okay,
any of the Metroid Primes are first person, the others are not.
gotcha. Okay. See, like I think I would want to get into these ones, like the Prime
Mhm.
ones. I feel like that would be really cool,
My
just because they
husband
look so.
my husband's a fan of Metroid, and he really enjoys the first person ones that have been out on the Switch lately.
Yeah, and I normally don't like first person as much. Like I'm not like some games I'm like, okay, it makes sense, you know.
Mhm.
But for the most part, I prefer third person because I can see a little bit better and stuff like that. And I'm used to playing third person type games. I mean, I do play first person with games such as like, you know, Borderlands and, you know, Destiny. I've played Destiny before. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just something about the Prime ones that are just really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Which,
I'm really interested in this story as well to understand like her psychic abilities and why she's this chosen one that we've seen. I think this one's going to have a very, very interesting story.
yeah, I think so. All right, this next game I actually find really interesting. And I kind of like the concept of it,
Let me
if
make
I'm
it
being
big.
honest.
Let me show it to everybody.
It's called The Eternal Life of Goldman. In this breathtaking, and it's super pretty. It's breathtaking. It's a platformer adventure.
The graphics are cute.
Right, you explore a vast hand. It's all hand drawn
Oh,
archipelago,
nice.
inspired by ancient fables, and I think that's what makes this game really cool.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
depicted in classic frame by frame animation, and defeat a mysterious deity. What I think is really interesting about this game is though, so this dude Goldman, he has a cane, and you have to upgrade your cane in the
That's
game, and I'm like,
adorable.
that's amazing. Like that is cool. So you can wishlist this game now. It'll be available on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, PC, and Nintendo Switch. The game is set to release during the holiday this year. Um, yeah, I love the fact that you don't have to have it on your Nintendo Switch, but I like that it is a Nintendo Switch game also. So,
I do
like,
like
there's
that.
just something that's nice about it. It also kind of still gives me that like Myth Force vibe without the full like He-Man vibe, right?
I could
Because it's
see
that
that
hand-drawn animation type style that
for
you
sure.
get. So,
I could totally see that.
yeah, so check that one out, guys, if you haven't. And you get to upgrade a cane, a walking cane. Come on.
Well, everybody,
Embrace your inner old person.
yes, whack.
Rack.
I want it. I want to be able to upgrade into a sword cane.
Oh, that'd be funny.
I like that.
That'd be really funny.
All right, everybody. We do have another game that caught our eye, and that was this game I'm about to show you, and it's called Witchbrook. So, in this game,
This
you
game's cool.
discover magic and mystery. It's a spellbinding witch life sim for up to 4 players. We have multiplayer. Anyway, start your life as the
Tori, we're
new
doing this one. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, start your life as the newest resident the newest resident witch in the bustling seaside city of Mossport. Make friends, find love, and discover a world filled with wonder and charm on the road to graduation and beyond. Witchbrook is scheduled for a 2025 winter holiday release on the Switch, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and the PC. The game will even be available on Game Pass on the first day of launch.
You know what we're doing? Witchbrook.
Game Pass! Woo!
Woo!
This one looks really cute. And I'm typically not one of these like 8 because it's a little more 8-bit like. It's not
Yeah,
full
yeah.
8-bit, but it's usually not my vibe, but I do like that this has a little bit more 3D elements to it, and I think visually like the design with that it has that whimsicalness that I'm a sucker for, I'll admit it. So, this resident witch will go enjoy being another resident witch. It's all it is.
I like that they give you the ability to have friends with you. I think
Yes,
that's really cool.
absolutely. It's like you're going through school together, and I love that.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, Katori Academy,
I was
take
gonna
some
say,
notes.
I was
No.
like, yeah, we talked about Korean Academy, and this at least gives us the multiplayer that we were talking about that we wanted.
No, can we just take the two and kind of meld them together?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. And it should be a really good day one on Xbox. So
I
I
think
know
so too.
I will be checking it out with Morgan. It'll be fun. Maybe we'll do a joint review on it. Please. All right, lastly, this one I'm super excited about too. This one is a fun twist on the iconic game Pac-Man. So this is Shadow Labyrinth. And I was like, I'm sold. When they showed this, I was like, I'm sold. So as the swordsman, you wake up on a mysterious planet amidst relics of wars past. To survive, you will discover secrets, consume your enemies, and grow from prey to apex predator. This game will be available on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and on Steam. And it releases on July 18th this year. Look at Pac-Man. What's really cool is when they were showing this, they were saying that it's like, oh, I need to get up top. How do I do that? You can actually just embody the Pac-Man character, and then you can like go on walls and stuff. And I'm like, that is cool. And look at that. Oh, okay, sorry. I'm like super delayed, but it is so cool. And then you can like become basically like pretty much Power Rangers where you morph. And so it's like it's amazing. I think this game is going to be a lot of fun, and if you haven't put it on your wish list, you might want to do it that now, to be honest.
Can I ask you, have you by chance watched the Amazon show Secret Level?
No. Mm-mm.
So, you should. Firstly, it's fantastic. It's it's made by the studio who did Love Death Robot, if you're familiar with that.
Mhm.
So
I'm not.
this whole
So
thing,
I'll just say okay.
the reason that I bring this up though is they it's an anthology series. Every episode doesn't link to one another, and it's all based on video games. And there is a episode. I'm pulling up which one it is right now. Um, it's episode season 1, episode 6, Pac-Man Circle, and it is this game.
Oh, that's cool.
Literally, like he has the cape and everything. Like I think you would love that episode. The visuals are stunning in general for
Mhm.
Secret Level, and if you want to get a vibe of like what Shadow Labyrinth is going to be like, literally watch that episode. It is 11 minutes long.
Okay, that's not too
Like,
bad.
totally good, totally worth it. So, it
But
was,
it's cool.
when I saw
I love
this,
this
I
game.
was literally when I saw this, I was like, "So, was this is" I literally thought I was like, "Are they making this game because of that episode, or did the episode come from because this was in creation?" Like, I wonder which one came first. So,
Like the chicken
it's
or the
really
egg,
cool.
like kind
Yeah,
of situation.
exactly, exactly. Yeah, I
Which
think I think
they have
you
now
would
figured out
love
that it was the chicken.
if you are really excited about this game, you are going
Yeah.
to love that 11-minute short film.
Yeah, yeah, I'll check it out, but I think this is a good twist because
It's a
Pac-Man was something that
very
I
cool
grew up
twist.
with, and so, like, this is a nice change of Pac-Man,
Mhm.
and it gives you, like, a nice platformer type situation.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, wanna dive into what's coming out next week? Because these aren't coming out
Yeah!
yet, but we can talk about what's coming out next week.
Oh my gosh, you guys, we have how many games do we have to tell you about? One,
12,
2,
another
3,
12.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, we have another 12 games. 12!
Yeah.
12!
I mentioned it last week how they are ramping up with how many games are being released. Like, we are getting out of the quiet season and getting into the busy season of video games. So, we have
Yeah.
another week of games that are getting ready to release, and we're excited to go through these games with you guys. KP, can you start us off with the first one you have coming out?
Yes. 12.
Oh, well, the.
That's right. All right. So I'm glad you asked, because first up, Monday, March 31st, which is, as we know, tomorrow, is a puzzle horror game inspired by PlayStation 2 era classics. Navigate environments, tackle threats, and meet other loot or other lost characters in the depths of the gloom. Post Trauma is available on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S.
This is really, really interesting, because I was able to find more info about it, which I put onto the graphic. Um,
Yeah.
it like is a really interesting modern interpretation of genre-defining survival horror classics. So you like will venture into a deeper into the unknown. You'll strive to solve mysteries of your unfamiliar surroundings, and hope to discover hidden truths while trying to stay alive. So it's very much like I'm trying to find this stuff, but I need to stay alive. Let's not die. And
Mhm.
it's interesting, and I love seeing a fun like puzzle horror game that gives a good callback to the nostalgia of the PS2.
Yeah.
Well, next up, I have also releasing on Monday. You'll be able to tame monsters, slay waves of enemy hordes, and explore fantasy lands. While Keepers Rising is a whimsical action RPG roguelite set in a beautiful hand drawn world that combines the power curve of Bullet Haven games with the compulsive fun of a creature collector. This game is available on PC and there is no demo available. Sorry, and there is
There
a
isn't.
demo available. So go to Steam. They have a demo available if you want to test it out. My apologies. The artwork
No,
that I've
it's
seen
fine.
of this makes me think
Mhm.
a little bit of the oh, what is that children's book that we grew up with?
There's a lot of children's books.
I know, but the one with the monsters, like the oh shoot, I'm drawing such a blank. Literally, it was right there, right before I mentioned it, and then it poofed from my brain. It's not the never ending story. It's the not Bridge to Terabithia. It
Bridge
reminds me of oh shoot, I literally can see its cover.
Where
Yes,
the
Where the
Wild Things
Wild Things
Grow?
Are. Thank you. I'm like I can see the cover, just not the title. The
That's
artwork
fair.
reminds me a little bit of Where the Wild Things Are, and I think it's adorable.
No, that is totally adorable. I believe I put this on my demo listing because I just
Nice,
loved the whole concept behind it.
nice, nice,
So
very nice.
definitely a cool game, a cool looking game. All
Oh
right,
yeah,
well let's go to Tuesday
got it.
because we have a couple games there. So releasing on Tuesday is Nif Nif. I love the name of this game. It's so funny. Nif Nif. The forest is being invaded by a mysterious evil goo. You play as Nif Nif, a cute piglet with the mission to clean and save friends in this cozy deck builder roguelike. Venture into the heartwarming story with accessible mechanics and themes for everyone. This is going to be available on Nintendo Switch and PC. I just love the fact that you play as a piglet.
It's cute. It's really cute.
Like at the
I
end, can
love
they
that
just
its little slogan is shuffle and scrub.
at the end, can they can the can we have them just say, "You did good, pig. You did good."
Yes, yes. All right. Well, we have another one coming out on Monday. So, in this next game, save a puppy and embark on a heartwarming, hand drawn adventure together. Journey to the heart of an enchanted forest, solving puzzles and avoiding hunters to protect your newfound friend. Koira comes out on PC and PlayStation 5 on Tuesday, April 1st. This one looks
Yeah,
cute.
I think the animation for this is super adorable.
I agree. It looks super cute. But next, we're on to Wednesday.
Going to Wednesday, guys. So on Wednesday, it's the year 1993. Talking robots, ghosts from the past, and ancient alien technology buried under desert sand. An adventure following Elroy and Peggy in the search of a long lost father. How far would you go to bring back the ones you love? Elroy and the aliens will be available PC only. And good news, there is a demo. I love the fact that they're like, it's 1993. And I'm like, that didn't happen in 1993.
The guy makes me think of a more like the young guy Elroy makes me think of like a more like slightly put together scientific nerd version of Shaggy
Oh,
from
yeah. Yeah,
Scooby Doo.
totally. Yeah.
All right, guys. Also coming out on Wednesday, get ready to level up your hunter and upgrade your arsenal to turn rivals into scrap. Choose your playstyle and combat tactics against 5 other duo teams. Only one can extract from the hunting grounds. Steel Hunters is available on PC only and is actually a free to play game. This is one that we saw during the Game Awards. It was announced during the Game Awards. It's one that has been on our radar and we've been really interested in, but we couldn't really do much around the playtest because there was an NDA. So yeah, we're excited to finally be able to actually really talk about Steel Hunters.
Yeah.
Super exciting. This one looks really cool. The
Let's go.
graphics, like whether it's your game to play or not, the graphics are really cool. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What's the next
All
one you
right.
got for us?
All right. Lastly, on Wednesday, guys, Croc Legend of the Gabos follows a young crocodile named Croc who sets out to rescue his adoptive family, a group of furry creatures known as Gabos, from the evil magician Baron Dante. This remastered game will be available, like I said, on Wednesday on PC, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox. I'm happy that they're remastering some of these older games for
Hmm.
us because
Especially because
it's
it
sad when
makes them. Sorry, go ahead. I don't want to interrupt. Sorry.
I was just gonna say it's sad when you can't play them anymore. Like you're
Yeah,
like, oh, I remember playing this game and I really enjoyed it, and now I can't play it anymore because I
I
can't run
also
the console that I have it on or
this
anything
is
like that.
obviously a very much like a Nintendo game, just looking at the art style alone. So it makes me
Oh
really
yeah.
happy that with this remaster, it's being available on other platforms that, so like I can now on my PC go enjoy maybe like a childhood classic. I'd never
Hmm.
played Croc, I'm gonna be honest with you, but we have seen that happening with other games from like the Nintendo like company and genre. So I'm really excited to see that.
I played Spyro.
I like Spyro.
Dragon! Dragon!
All right, we're gonna switch over to Thursday now because we do have some Thursday releases. So on Thursday, y'all, is Jin and Jan. You control 2 characters at once. Jin follows your commands, but Jan always does the opposite. Anticipate every move, dodge obstacles and enemies, and guide the brothers to the center of the map to complete the ritual of balance. This game will be available on PC only, and there is a demo available on Steam, so you can go basically see how you can control these two yin yang brothers and how you can anticipate all of their moves. But yeah, this is oh no. Sorry, I'm laughing because I just saw a chat. Mine over here we have Michael on Twitch saying, I don't like how I walked into the words furry creatures and then got immediately hit with the Minecraft ad. Also, we have Tyler being like, holy crap, Croc. Now that is someone's childhood classic, not mine. But
Yeah.
Jin and Yan looks super cute. The art style
Mhm.
reminds me of that one like little knight game. I'm blanking on the name as well. Hollow Knight, I think
Oh,
I'm thinking of.
Hollow Knight?
Yeah.
Hollow Knight? Yeah,
It makes me
it
think
does.
of
It reminds me
that.
of Hollow Knight.
They have like a cute yin and yang feel, and I think this one's gonna be really cute.
I like the fact that it's one does one thing, but the other one does the opposite. Like
Little shit.
that's really cool. But that makes sense. Like they're
Yeah,
yin and yang to each other, so like
absolutely.
totally makes sense. And it's supposed to be very puzzle like, so I can understand why
Hmm.
like they do that. But yeah, it's a very cool game, and if you want, check it out early before you decide to put down, that hard cash on these games. And thankfully there are demos, for some of
Yes.
these, so that always makes us happy.
All right.
All
What's
right,
what's
so
next on Thursday?
I know this one's a big one, guys.
Yes,
Experience
it is.
the winner of over 300 Game of the Year awards now on PC. Discover Ellie and Abby's story with graphical enhancements, gameplay modes like the roguelike survival experience, No Return, and more. The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered is coming out on PC on Thursday. I know anybody who's a big Last of Us fan, and maybe you just didn't want to, play it on PlayStation because you didn't want to buy it there, you now have the ability to do the remastered game on PC, which is amazing. I'm going to pass though because I don't do well with these games. I haven't even finished the first one and I bought it.
I really like the Last of Us series. I have it on PlayStation, so it's nice to see that the remastered version is finally coming over here to PC.
Yeah, and if you don't want to get a capture card, right? Let's say you're like, I don't really want to get a capture card, especially streamers. The fact that
Yeah.
you can at least get the games for PC and then replay all of it, through your PC is probably like the best thing that they've ever been doing. So
Yeah.
I'm really happy with that.
All right. Well, I have another one coming out on Thursday. So
Thursday's a big day.
yeah, Thursday's a massive day for video games. But Space Invaders Infinity Gene Evolve captures a global generation of mobile games. So avoid enemy attacks and fight back with overwhelming firepower, evolutionary exhilaration for all levels, and a stress-free play experience. This game actually is going to be available on the Apple Arcade on Thursday. I'm really sad it's on Apple Arcade because that means I won't have access to it because I am not an Apple gal. But I was a huge Space Invaders person growing up.
I don't have Apple Arcade either. You have to pay for it, but
Yeah, screw that. I'm not paying for that shit.
but I like the fact that they are giving Apple Arcade, these bigger name titles and stuff. So that's really cool.
Absolutely. And it's not the only one because we actually have a couple, another, I believe one more coming out on
Mhm.
Apple Arcade
Yeah.
this week. So,
And I really love this franchise. This is one that I actually have a 360 version of Katamari, and I will not give up that copy. I don't care
nice,
how much it'll
nice.
it'll I'll make off of it. I will not give it up because I just love the Katamari franchise overall. So lastly on Thursday, get ready to roll, stick, and grow. That's right, the quirky action game Katamari Damacy, where you grow your Katamari by collecting objects, is coming to Apple Arcade. Uh, if you guys have not played any of the Katamari ones, there are ones for PC that are available. It is just like this fun game where you literally just like run around with this giant ball of things that you just stick to it, and it's really fun. Yeah. No, I know this one's Apple, but there are PC versions. It's just this one's one that's coming to Apple Arcade. So,
Yes. So, lastly, guys, we're on number 12.
12.
So,
12.
Eco
Okay,
Beach
I'm done.
has been destroyed by a nasty robot rebellion, and is in urgent need of a new town planner. Your job? Get the town thriving again with your particle harvesting skills and restore it back to its heyday. Collect resources and make friends and solve the mystery of Quantum Science Dr. Terra. This game will be available on Friday on PC, and there is a demo available on Steam. This one actually sounds really cute to me, not gonna lie, and you can go test it out on Steam before you buy. This will be available next week on Friday, April 4th.
Woo, we did it. We got
Woohoo!
through all 12. I can't wait to see if next week is like 20.
Yeah, right? Can you calm down? It's so much for me to set up. No.
Morgan's like, this sucks.
It used to be 6 guys, and then it doubled.
Well, here, let's see how many we're gonna have next week. Starting in April. Let's see here. Let me get a quick count going. Starting on the 7th, because that's when we normally start. We always do it on Monday. And then what's next Monday? 7 days from that is the 14th
So we go Monday, so it'd be
through
the 31st
Friday.
through the 6th.
No, we already did that.
Oh, my brain. We need 7th through the 13th.
Okay. 13.
Fuck! An extra one. God damn. No, it's good. It's exciting to see that we're finally back into like where we're getting more games. The movie industry goes through the exact same thing right after the holidays. There's a lull in the industry. The gaming industry, I feel like, picks up a little bit quicker than the movie industry with getting out of that lull. But usually, you know, for like movies, it's like middle of April is when it starts getting on. Where like gaming, it's like end of March, beginning of April.
True.
So
So
yeah,
we're excited. We like doing this though. This has
we
been
do.
something that
We do.
we've been having a lot of fun with. Especially considering it's like, oh, maybe you didn't think that game was coming up, or maybe you
We
haven't heard
also
of that game.
learn of new games
It's
we've never
awareness.
heard of.
Right. The
And that's what's
awareness
nice.
is so massive.
And that's one thing we like to do on the show is like if we can find indie games or like games like titles that aren't, because there are just, if you look at Steam, there are thousands and thousands of games that people will never find. So we love being able to find games that maybe not a lot of people have heard of and be able to give them maybe a little bit of a lift, because it's hard if you're a small indie developer to get your name out there. But
It really is.
I mean, we were just talking with sorry, you were just talking with the Sacred Acorn developer, where they
Mhm.
say that the best thing to help indie developers is by actually going and reviewing their game, because that's what helps
Yeah.
them in the algorithm of Steam and being suggested to
Mhm.
people. So the more reviews they get, the more likely they are to become visible and found and
Which is
findable.
really funny because I was playing with Shirtless Dan and Nom Zombie came in and he was talking about all these different games because Dan and I were talking about kind of like an old joke, like, are we too old for this game? Because we're
Mm.
old. We're not super old. We're just old. Okay. We're older. And so Nam was like throwing all these games out and everything. And I was talking to him and I said, oh my God, have you seen? I'm like, you like Souls like roguelike kind of games, right? And he's like, yeah.
Mm.
And I was like, have you seen this, the Sacred Acorn, right? And he
Mhm.
goes, oh yeah, I was looking at that because you recommended it. And I was like, oh, that's so funny. That is so funny. So
That's cute.
do recommend, do put a review in because, you know, I didn't think Nam would notice it because I recommended it. I thought I was just trying to be, thoughtful and nice and everything, but it does help. It helps like with viewership of not just people in the Steam algorithm, but like your friends, if
Yes,
Morgan recommends something, then it's just
it's gonna
like
pop
I'm
up
like,
in my
"Oh, I
feed
haven't
more.
thought about that."
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's definitely helpful. So definitely kind of think of that as you guys are playing games, especially the indie games. We all know the triple A's are gonna do well, you
Yeah,
know.
absolutely.
We know that they're gonna get the eyes on them. So but the indie game developers are the ones that really need the help. They're the ones that are like, yeah, can you just like give us a little bit? Throw us a bone. That's all we're asking. You
Yeah.
like our game, but throw us a bone.
Well, everybody, for our next show, the 2025 London Games Festival gets underway starting on Wednesday, and we'll bring you the latest information that we get from that festival. As always, we will have all the topics we discussed in our show topic section on our Discord. So if you're not in there, get in there, hang out with us. We talk about tech and everything else, and you'll be able to see and read certain things a little bit more in depth. But before we go, don't forget to check us out across all of our social medias. We're on Facebook, Twitter, or X, whatever you prefer to call it, Instagram, and Blue Sky. So go give us a follow because that's how you know when we're going live and a little sneak peek at what we're reviewing. And we're putting out a lot more content over there, guys, where it's special to just our social media. So you're not going to see on the live show. You're going to see special picked videos. Like, here's these games of this genre that we suggest to you. Here's graphics of like games from these festivals that we're picking. Like right now, we talked about our Colony Fest. We highlighted 4. There's 4 other games that we didn't tell you that we picked that are on our social medias right now. So head
We
on over
kept
there.
them from you.
Head over there and see what the rest of them are. We're constantly excited to be continuing to grow our content and to be creating more content for you all. And not all of that content makes it here on the live show. So you got to go over to our social medias, but not only that, to our YouTube. So KP, let them know where they can find us.
Yeah, so we are over on YouTube at Techeries. So if you are not subscribed to us, if you are not liking our content, go do it. What's wrong with you?
Please.
Seriously. I mean, we can sit here for a little bit and talk about this. What's wrong with you?
Go do it.
Okay, well, put that aside. We know that you have issues. It's fine. We all do. But follow us over there. It's only going to help. We have slowly been growing and we're really excited. We have been showcasing and got a few days. We have all the time right now. Um Look, sir, we will make time for you. But yeah, follow us over there. Give us, a subscription. Give us likes on our videos. Everything that you guys do helps with reach and helps us with our algorithm. We are trying to, create content that we want people to enjoy. It is our way of, this is something we love and we want to share that love with you guys. And we just want some love back. That's all we're asking. And if you haven't, why aren't you following us on Twitch?
You should.
Twitch.tv/Techeries. It's not hard. You just hit the little heart. It's super easy and it's free. By the way, all of that is free. You don't even have to send us money. We'll just be happy with the love that you give us.
You can
All right, that's all I got.
also
I'm off my
you can
high horse.
also you can also ding dong that bell over on YouTube, guys, because that turns on notifications. That way you know when we upload a video, it'll notify you. That way you can catch all of our videos and our content and go like them and enjoy them and hopefully maybe find some new stuff. Also you can turn on notifications for our Twitch channel. That way you can get immediate notifications of when we go live on Twitch as well. So just saying. If you want to have it all automated and let your devices tell you when we're live, you can make that happen.
That's right. It's not hard, people.
No.
It's just a click.
But with that, we will be live next Sunday, guys, at 1 p.m. Eastern and 12 p.m. Central. So next Sunday, we'll be live here again, giving you the news about the 2025 London Games Festival and more.
And much more.
Always much
more. We've already started putting stuff together for next week. It's a lot. All right. But until then, you guys have a great rest of your Sunday or Monday, depending on when you are viewing us or watching us. And we will see you guys next weekend. And until then, keep processing, everyone.